Matchmakers, famous for their... Not that we're...
They developed into that. I was going to say the first times I remember with George wore were the ones with the laces on top, but they developed into the laces on the side, so you got a clean strike of the football.
It's a iconic brand of boot, Andy. Bobby Collins wore them at Leeds many years ago. I think was the first probably to wear them. Bestie, Pele, arguably the most famous, but they disappeared off the scene entirely until now. This gentleman here, Scott Michaels, director of Stylo Matchmakers. Scott, thank you for talking to us. Tell us the story. Where have the Matchmakers been, and why have you brought them back? How have you brought them back?
Yeah, we launched the brand, we rebooted the brand last May. We brought back the Airship 17. We brought the catalogue of different boots back. It all started in 1966, which was a great year for football, with England winning the World Cup. It was worn by legends, like you said, Pele, George Best, Kevin Keegan, Brian Clough, Bill Shankly. The list went on. It was the biggest brand for nearly a decade.
And what happened?
It was owned by a retailer. Eventually, the money came in from some of the bigger brands who were in the marketplace, and they couldn't compete due to the size of the company. Stylo actually went into golf after that. They had Arnold Palmer, Nick Faldo. They had some success, but my focus is to bring back a legendary brand into the marketplace, wave the British flag, and have an alternative to the other brands which are in at the moment.
The other brands, in the interest of fairness, we should point out, I think Nike swamped the market, Adidas, of course, inevitably, Andy. They're probably the two biggest competitors you've got, Scott. But
I was just going to say, Scott, I can think of a lot of markets I'd be interested in developing and putting money into, and hopefully making some money, but the football boot market to me seems like a really difficult one, even with the name, even with the historical name, to break into. What makes you confident you can do so, Scott?
Yeah, I think it's all about strategy, forward planning. I noticed that the brands go one way, zig. I prefer to zag. So we're the brand focusing on technology, also bright colours. We're going the old school. We're going tradition. We're going leather boots. We're taking that classic element, football boots, and we're putting it back into the marketplace.
now you said, okay, I can buy into the different colours. That's very popular right now. Although we do like black, Scott. We're old school.
Yeah.
We do like black. Don't you need a name? Don't you need to associate yourself now with one of today's young superstars to have the impact that you're looking for?
Yeah, just going back to what I was saying before about zigging where the other brand's zagging, you know, our focus isn't about superstars. It's about grassroots football, which is underprovided, and bringing back the access of style of the football boots through relationships. So we're working directly with clubs. We haven't got retail. We go through clubs. We add value to what they're doing through our products.
And how many people have you spoken to that have said, "Oh yeah, I remember them. I had a pair of those"?
Yeah, I'm actually at Leeds United at the moment in the boardroom. I was kindly invited by Andrea, which we're watching the Bolton and Leeds game today. But 50 years ago, Don Revie came in, signed a deal with Stylo Matchmakers. Bobby Collins, like you mentioned before, he wore the boots, and there was a big relationship with Stylo Matchmakers and Leeds United through the connection being a Leeds manufacturer as well. So there's a lot of synergy between Leeds. I'm looking at doing some work with these guys as well, and bringing back again the tradition of football.
Well, Scott, is that one behind you there, just over your right shoulder? Is that one?
Yes,
yeah. Give us a look.
Yeah, it's great. So just going back to what I was saying about the Airship collection. So this is actually a model of the George Best boot. It's a fifth of the weight of what George wore. So, you know, it's a lot lightweight. We used new technology through a modernised sole plate.
Okay.
Again, we've used a leather upper rather than a synthetic cheap plastic. So it's taking the old school style, bringing it back so it can perform to the high standards as well.
Have you any idea, Scott, what Stylo paid George to wear their boots?
I'm not sure. I think it's very difficult because obviously there wasn't the money in the game in the 70s, and I think that's what I'm trying to do with this. Is rather than focus on the the big commercial, the glitz and glamour of the Premier League. I'm trying to put a British brand into the marketplace, get everybody enjoying a classic look, because again, fashion goes round in circles.
Yeah.
Well, good luck to you, Scott.
Thank you.
Just one thing. Andy here doesn't think 1966 was a very good year for football.
Yeah, come on,
at
you
all.
speak for yourself, Hugh, Scott. Come on. Exactly.
Hey,
Might have been a good year for England, but I prefer to remember 67 when we became world champions.
Scott, give our best to everybody there
Thanks
at
so
Leeds.
much.
Thanks for talking to us, and good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott Michaels, who's